Love is rarely announced. Most people who are falling in love with you will never say it, at least not at first. But the body and behavior cannot lie the way words can. And the fifth sign on this list is the one that is almost impossible to fake. Here are 5 signs someone is in love with you backed by psychology. Love is one of the most studied and most misunderstood human experiences in psychology. Psychologist Robert Sternberg's triangular theory of love identifies 3 core components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. When someone is genuinely falling in love, all 3 begin showing up in their behavior long before they ever say the words. The signs are specific, and once you know what to look for, they are hard to miss. Sign 1, they remember the small things. You mentioned months ago that you preferred a specific type of coffee. They remembered. You said in passing that a certain day was hard for you. They checked in on you afterward. You talked about something you wanted to do someday. They brought it up weeks later like it was important because to them, it was. Memory is selective. The brain remembers what it considers worth keeping. When someone is falling in love, every detail about you registers as worth keeping. It is not effort. It is attention driven by something they may not yet have named. But sign 2 is subtler and easier to mistake for something else entirely. Sign 2, their energy shifts when you enter the room. It is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is the straightening of posture, the voice becoming slightly more animated, the eyes tracking where you moved in the room without meaning to, or the opposite, a sudden self-consciousness that was not there a moment ago. Psychologists describe this as heightened arousal response, the nervous system registering the presence of someone it has assigned emotional importance to. It is involuntary, which is exactly what makes it so revealing. People can control what they say. They cannot fully control how their body responds to the person they love. Watch how someone's energy changes when you arrive. Sign 3 is the one that shows how deeply they have let you in. Sign 3, your problems become their problems. Most people offer sympathy. They say the right things. They move on. Someone who is in love with you does something different. They sit with your problem after you have gone home. They send a follow-up the next day, not because etiquette requires it, but because they genuinely could not stop thinking about it. They feel a pull to fix what is hurting you, even when the problem has nothing to do with them. Psychologists call this empathic concern a deep emotional investment in another person's well-being that goes beyond ordinary care. It is one of the clearest markers of genuine love, because it is almost impossible to sustain for someone you are merely fond of. Sign 4 looks like a small thing, but it reveals everything. Sign 4, they are nervous around you in a specific way, not general social anxiety, something more specific than that. They stumble over words they would normally say easily. They laugh slightly too quickly at things that were not quite that funny. They become suddenly aware of what to do with their hands. They check their appearance before they know you will be there. Neuroscience tells us that the presence of someone we love activates the same brain regions as threat. The amygdala fires, cortisol, and dopamine both rise. The body genuinely does not know the difference between excitement and anxiety at the neurological level. That specific nervousness is your body chemistry responding to someone who matters. It is almost impossible to manufacture. And sign 5 is the one that is hardest to fake over time. Sign 5, they choose you repeatedly in small ways. This is the one I mentioned at the start. Grand gestures are easy to perform once. What is almost impossible to sustain without real feeling is the accumulation of small, consistent choices. Yea, they save the front seat for you without being asked. They include you in plans before you have expressed interest. They check in when you have gone quiet. They mention you to people who have not met you yet. None of these are spectacular, but together they form a pattern. Psychologist John Gottman calls these bids for connection small moments of reaching toward another person. Someone who is in love with you makes these bids constantly, not because they are strategic, because you are already in their mind before they have consciously decided to put you there. Love does not always arrive with a confession. It arrives in the details someone remembered, in the energy shift when you walk in the problem they could not stop thinking about even though it was yours, in the nervousness that only happens around you, and in the small choices made consistently that add up to something unmistakable. Is there someone in your life who shows these signs? Let me know in the comments and tell me what country you are watching from. If this helped, subscribe. I will see you in the next one.